If sci-fi has taught us anything, it's that robots are evil and will stop at nothing to destroy humanity. But Chappie shows us a kinder side to artificial intelligence, as a police robot is given the gift of consciousness by its creator and is taken in by a rather dysfunctional family.
I am consciousness. I am alive. I am Chappie.
We're in the not-too-distant future. It actually feels very much like today, slightly dystopian sort of vision of the world, but police have been taken over by robots.
And they protect the inhabitants of Johannesburg against these gangsters who are constantly trying to rob and kill. They decide to kidnap a robot policeman to help them do heists. They think that's going to be great. A robot policeman on their side. But inadvertently, they kidnap a robot that's an experiment that Dev Patel's character has created to be a sentient being.
Basically, you look at this robot as a young child growing up in a world, and it's very impressionable. My character, the creator of this robot, is trying to teach it the right values, and you've got all these corrupting influences.
You up, Chappie? Chappie. Good. Yes. It's like a child. It has to learn.
Even though their ability to learn, to create, to think, to feel is beyond anything humans can do, there's a learning process.
He actually comes from a place of kindness and gentleness, and the inhumane acts are carried out by humans.
This poor robot, who's like a child, is brought up with these terrifying gangsters, scared, and taught to be cool and wear bling.
Chappie, if you want to be in the gang, you have to be cool, like Daddy. Look how Daddy walks. Look how cool he is. And you keep a gangster. You keep the dance. Don't laugh at being cool.
The character I play, I had a lot of fun doing, is, I suppose, the villain, because he's very much against any idea of artificial intelligence. Thinks it's a dangerous thing.
I do believe the problem with artificial intelligence is it's way too unpredictable. It also happens to be very convenient to him because it renders his own creation of a robot obsolete.
This robot, he's got to be removed.
My character is the CEO of the weapons corporation, Tetraval, that has manufactured the Scouts, which are these robotic policemen, and they are huge, huge money maker for my company. And the last thing I want to do is interfere with that progress. Do it. Destroy that robot.
Thank you, man.
Chappie is played by Charlton Copley, who's from District 9 and Elysium, and he's such a wonderful actor. And it was CGI, so it's Charlton in a little black suit. But in an odd way, even though he wasn't in the robot suit, the first time I see him, he's quite cranky. He's coming into my office to wreak revenge on Hugh Jackman and probably me. And he destroys all these sets, and he's so filled with this righteous anger, and I didn't have to act. I grabbed my coat and flew out of that room so fast.
3, 2.
If you can think of 10 actors, but you know one of them really well, you're probably going to use that actor. You know, if you just know that he's going to hit it out of the park. And I felt like it was something that he would just get and something that he would just execute really well.
That's a picture.
I understand the sort of the depth of ability that I think he has.
Is there some other place we can find another camera?
Yeah, we can plug out this thread.
Yeah. So we should do like maybe 3 cables.
The goal was always to make him be something that felt 100% photographed. You know, that the robot was physically on set. The line between computer graphics and practical effects was It was about 99% in favor of computer graphics.
So is this edible in the center?
The only time he ever was a practical robot was when he didn't move. And obviously, I mean, you're just saving money in that case. You build one droid, physically you can use it 1,000 times. Every visual effect shot costs, tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
If somebody really disrespects you, you can run with them without using a gun.
There have been some moments in my life where you pinch yourself, many actually, where you pinch myself, most days actually in my job. Turning up on set with Sigourney Weaver was one of those days. And, it's always exciting for me when you see jaded film crews just like turn into 9-year-old kids.
Being around Sigourney was pretty awesome. I kind of just grilled her about all of the Alien films all the time because, they're my favorite movies. And Hugh turned out to be one of my favorite people I've ever worked with in my life. I mean, I was kind of waiting for the moment where I would figure out that he's, not what he seems that he is, because he's too nice. I was waiting for, the he won't come out of his trailer moment, but it never happened. He is literally a 10 out of 10, just all-star.
Hugh is the greatest. He's so wonderful as Vincent, who's a lunatic, who's made this other robot called the Moose.
It's beautiful chaos. Beautiful chaos. Are you ready, Moose? Are you ready?
He plays Vincent with such passion and belief, and it's just a great performance, and it was great fun for us to play these scenes. Please just let it go.
This is the work of Dion. It's the work of some filthy rogue program that he's been writing last night. He brought a droid in here, and it was sentient.
It's a satire in many ways, so you're right on the edge, playing people who care fiercely, but it is also kind of a comedy. So we had a lot of fun, and I think he's a terrific fellow.
And have you seen this? Do you know about this?
I told him no.
Okay, that's a lot worse than just failing to work. So let's use the situation to make a certain other robot mature.
They're both just incredible, and Hugh is a dream to work with. He is everything you expect him to be and more. It was fun going toe to toe with him, really. So.
This robot, he's got to be removed.
Can't do this. He's special.
Destroy that robot. Burn it to ash.
Where are you going, mate? Viewers are warned that the following program contains flashing images.
I think I've cracked it. The world's first proper, full artificial intelligence. This is a computer system that might be smarter than a human. I could show it a piece of art, and this thing, this being, could judge that art. It could decide if it liked it. It could write music and poetry.
Stop it. Please, Dion. Do you realize you just came to the CEO of a publicly traded weapons corporation and pitched a robot that can write comics?
Director Neil Blomkamp has redefined the sci-fi genre with District 9 and Elysium. And now he's bringing a fresh new take on the theme of artificial intelligence with his latest film, Chappie.
The sci-fi is so often fun and entertaining, visually spectacular. It taps into a lot of our fantasy ideas of the future, which, let's face it, is probably the number one question on everyone's mind. What does the future hold? Not only for me personally, but for the world. And so it's a very fertile ground for those ideas and what will become of things.
Chappie takes place in the future, but not that far in the future, maybe 10 years in the future. And these ideas that he talks about through sci-fi, which is, what is it to be human? Can you create a robot that, in fact, will be humane? And how is it that the most humane character in the story is a robot?
I think it's fair to say that a lot of people feel that
She isn't there. You like the look of.
sci-fi is a bit cinema
Yeah.
With Neil,
I said, try to run it, and
you get a lot of fun,
Huh?
action,
See
you
if
get
there's enough one up by now.
visuals that are incredible. with his films, they feel very real, very plausible, and really make you think.
Full. Was it not full? Come on. Open the back.
I don't necessarily think it's science fiction for me that draws me in. I think it's anything that is mundane, like non-everyday. Meaning there has to be some fantastic element in it. And that can happen with fantasy, and you can do it with horror, and you know, you can do it with a variety of different things. Like, for some reason it seems to be science fiction at the moment. The idea of a sentient robot grew out of the robots from Elysium, so it's a very fluid thing.
What Neil Blomkamp does very well is make things slightly more complex, because actually there is a very valid argument against artificial intelligence. And what does it mean if we create something more powerful, more creative, more thinking, more feeling than ourselves? What's the future hold? So, encased in this
She's not what?
fear and desperation is actually this quite rational argument.
What the what do you call it?
Go skipping on that.
Yeah.
The appeal for me is when you have something non-real and something otherworldly, that you're able to talk about topics and play with people's expectations about a certain topic in a way that they don't expect. You can sort of flip the viewer's lens for a while. Without making like a documentary about artificial intelligence, you can do it in a film like this.
Neil Blomkamp's really an auteur. You know, he's a new auteur of the sci-fi genre, and he's a real ballsy filmmaker. He's unafraid in his casting choices. You know, we have this rap rape